Hello there, guys. It has been a while since I haven't made a video. Um, but I felt to do this one to help people who are specifically if you are starting in your healing journey or personal growth, self-discovery journey, or even if you have been in it for a while, maybe with a professional, maybe with a coach, teacher, any place where you are in that road. I wanted to um, point out five of the main things that we need to learn and we need to work on for us to really find that harmonious balance or healthy balance, mind, body, spirit, okay, from a holistic perspective. So the first thing that we need to work on, we need to learn is self-love. So self-love is going to connect to self-worth, self-value, self-respect. It's all connected. So now, before I continue, the 5 points that I'm going to say, they all connect with each other. They don't work isolated. They work connected to each other. But it helps to work on each one as an individual. So I'll tell you an example. If you go to the gym, one day you do legs, the next day you do arms, the next day you do abs. Um, but at the end, the whole body is connected, and at the end, they're all gonna affect each other. The work that you do with your legs is affecting your abs and your back muscles, and so on. Okay? So it's the same with this. Just like self-esteem or self-love, healthy self-esteem will inevitably take you to uh, work on find your self-worth, self-value, self-respect. That inevitably is going to take us to the second point, which is healthy boundaries. So building healthy boundaries or learning how to build healthy boundaries learning how to build healthy boundaries for yourself is one of those very important main things that you need to learn with whoever you're doing work with, whether it's by yourself or with a professional. So this is going to help you. For example, even if you have a therapist, psychologist, a coach, it's going to help you know what to look for. It's going to help you guide your own healing. Okay, so let's say that your therapist is not talking about any of these things, is not working with you in any of these things, even though you have been with a person or with a therapist for years or even beginning, and they don't work on any of these points. It's a sign for you to maybe bring it up and ask them, okay, what about working about this? So this is self-empowerment for you. This is for you to know what to look for your own overall healing. It's for your own good. So the boundaries is very important. Now the boundaries are gonna take you, it's gonna take you inevitably to healthy communication or communication skills. Because now when you learn how to build your boundaries, you need to communicate them. So that's connected to communication as well. And that's connected with relationships because inevitably it's all is gonna affect your relationships, boundaries and communication. Okay? From there, we're gonna take the next step. So 3 is inner child healing and teenage healing. Inner child healing and teenage healing, we always have to go back and heal certain things that happen in childhood. We are a result from our parents and we are a result from our childhood, the early years of our life. We are a result from that. And it's not about forgetting about it. It's not about denying it. It's not about becoming exactly the same as your parents either. It's about learning from it and embracing it and take the wisdom and power that you get when you go back to those events and retrieve the medicine from those events. That is the idea of doing this work of inner child and teenage healing. What you get from doing inner child healing is security in yourself. Because in our early years, that's when your security is built or not built. And most children don't feel completely secure growing up for X, Y, or Z reason. So, what you get when you do this work is self security. And that is connected to being yourself, being your authentic self. Because as children, most children were not allowed to be their authentic self, their real selves. There was always conditioning. There was always, don't do this, don't do that, do this, do the other. Why are you not more like this, or be more like that, or you have to be this, you have to do that. A lot of conditioning going on from the world. So one of the results from doing a child healing, which is super important, is actually being your authentic self from doing that work. Now, all of this is a process. This doesn't take, oh, it's going to take you 1 year, it's going to take you 5 months. Forget about the time. It will take whatever it takes because it's a lifelong process. So if you go into it with that mentality, you're going to take a lot of weight off your shoulders and a lot of expectation and pressure on yourself. So there's no time. This is it. It's your life. It's a lifelong process. The good thing is that you will be seeing results as you go on. So from that third point, it's connected. So the same inner child healing and teenage healing connects us to emotional healing. It's directly connected to emotional healing, which take us to emotional intelligence. So you learn to process your emotions in a healthier way. You learn to embrace your emotional self, and then it takes you to emotional maturity. All of that comes from going back to childhood, healing your relationship with your parents, healing your relationship with your siblings, with your culture, with where you're coming from. Just embracing, learning from those experiences. Again, it's not about denying them or repressing them or, healing in the sense of, oh, I'm free from it. It is not about that. It's about learning how to use whatever experience you had and alchemize it. So you learn from the hurt or the wounding or the trauma, and you take the positive from it, the wisdom from the experience. That's what healing really means, at least from the context I'm talking about. From the emotional healing, which is another very important point, and you can work on it on its own. So it will be connected to inner child healing, but you can do that on its own. So each one of these points you can work on its own, and then they all intertwine and they're interconnected. So the last point that I think is very important for every person to learn how to do and gain practices is self-care practices. Self-care practices, self-help tools, how to care for yourself, how to care for your body, how to care for your time, for your space, for your health, for your well-being. So it's learning self-help tools, it's learning maybe to meditate, it's learning to paint or learning to gardening or learning to anything that will help you manage stresses, daily stresses or changes that you can do simply. It's simple things because self-care practices, from how I see it, they should be very simple. They should be simple things that come easily to you because they're not supposed to add stress to your life. They're supposed to actually add relaxation and joy and a break. So it's not really about distracting yourself, but it's about caring for yourself. So whether that is a bath, whether that is a massage, whether that is just having a conversation with a good friend and laugh, that's self-care. Taking time to do things that you just enjoy or taking time to just do nothing and practice just being. That's self-care practices. So that's another very important point. to have in mind whenever you're doing this type of work, whether with somebody, with a professional, or by yourself. I hope they help you have some guiding points. I hope, yeah, that helps you somehow. And that's all I have for today. You can find more information in the description. My website is still there. I'm going through a lot of transformation and changes with my business and what I'm doing as a writer as well. You can find out that information as well as there. I'm going to add the writing profile. So in case you like reading poetry or just reading in general, you can find out more of those writings in my new blog. And that's what's happening besides Harmonious Infinity. These videos, yes, whenever I get an inspiration or something that I feel is helpful for people in this journey, then I will share it. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Until next time.